If you get your trim paint wrong, your doors and baseboards could end up sticky, chipped, or just plain bad looking. And guess what? Most DIYers and even some pros are using the wrong paint. Today we're going to break down the best Sherwin-Williams trim paints so that you can get the flawless pro level finish that you're looking for. We're going to talk durability, smoothness, and also discuss why painters are ditching oil-based products. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss any expert painting insights. These could save you a ton of headaches. So first of all, is trim paint just wall paint and they slap a different label on it? We can all agree that trim takes a lot of abuse. We think of our baseboards that are constantly getting kicked, doors that are being slammed, and cabinets that are being opened and closed thousands of times a year. This means that a paint has to be tougher, smoother, and more resistant to wear than standard paint. The right trim paint makes a huge difference when it comes to durability and finish. Let's start with Sherwin-Williams Emerald Urethane Trim Enamel. This is one of the most popular choices by pro painters today. And why is that? That's because it mimics the hardness of oil-based paints while still being water-based and easier to clean. The hardness comes from urethane resins that make it harder than a standard acrylic paint, but it is still slightly softer than a traditional oil. It self-levels, which helps to eliminate brush marks. It's great for cabinets and doors because it holds up well to cleaning. And it's water-based, which means that it's easier cleanup and lower odors when compared to oil-based products. Now, let's take a moment and talk about ProClassic Alkyd Interior Enamel. This is where things start to get a little bit interesting. An alkyd is a synthetic resin-based paint. It's specifically designed to behave like an oil-based paint, but it cleans up with water. Its finish is actually harder than urethane-based paints, which does give it a little edge when it comes to durability. It also gives you a smooth finish and has great resistance to moisture. But here are the cons. It has a longer drying time than most urethanes, and it does slightly yellow over time. However, it's still great for traditional trim and doors where that extra hardness is something that's needed. Now, the ProMar 200 Alkyd Waterborne. It's a budget-friendly option, yet still delivers a solid trim finish. It's not quite as durable as the Emerald Urethane or that ProClassic Alkyd, but it works well for new construction, repaints, and rental properties where extreme durability is not a must. It's also more affordable than the other two options. It does give a smooth finish and has decent durability. But here are the cons. It's less hard than the Emerald and the ProClassic and is not self-leveling. But it is a go-to, cost-effective trim paint for some of your painting projects. Let's take a moment and talk about oil-based trim paints versus their water-based counterparts. Especially over the last 10 or 15 years, a lot of painters are moving away from oil-based, and for good reason. Even though these products have an excellent record of a rock-hard, durable finish, the problems are that they do yellow significantly over time. They are super smelly, and they have high VOCs, and they're a lot harder to clean up. So which of these paints are the hardest? Let's now take a moment and look at the hardness ranking. In first place, we're going to have our oil-based trim paints. Again, super hard and durable, but the downside is they yellow over time. Then we have the ProClassic Alkyd Waterborne. It still has some great durability, but once again, it will yellow. Number 3 comes the Emerald Urethane. This is a durable product with a smooth finish, but it isn't as hard. And finally, we have the ProMar 200 Alkyd Waterborne. It is a softer finish, but is a really good option for trim that doesn't take a lot of abuse. So we keep talking about the hardness level. So that the question would just naturally come up, is a harder trim paint better? The answer? Well, not necessarily. Softer urethane-based paints have a distinct advantage in areas where flexibility and durability are essential. So unlike those harder coatings, the urethane is going to be less prone to cracking or chipping under stress, making it an ideal choice for trim and surfaces that experience regular movements of expansion and contraction due to possible temperature fluctuations. This flexibility helps it to be able to maintain a smooth, long-lasting, flexible finish. So then the question becomes, which one of these products should I choose for my project? Here's a quick checklist to help. Do you need extreme durability? Then you should go with an oil-based product. But keep in mind, there is quite an odor and it will yellow. Do you want a really good balance when it comes to hardness and usability? Then choose the ProClassic Alkyd Waterborne. If you're looking for a product that's going to expand and contract with the surface and has a pro-level smooth finish that'll clean up easily, then Emerald Urethane Trim Enamel is going to be your choice. And if you're on a budget, yet you still want quality, ProMar 200 Alkyd Water Base is a good choice. Now, my next question, if you want to compare and see which company has the best wall paint, check out my next video. In it, we're going to compare Sherwin-Williams, Benjamin Moore, and Behr. You don't want to miss that. But through our discussion, we can see that choosing the right trim paint can actually make a world of difference. Whether you go with the oil, Emerald, ProClassic, or ProMar, picking the right one for your project will save you time, money, and possibly a lot of frustration. So what trim paint have you used and how did it hold up? Drop a comment below and let us know. Well, that was a great episode. But if you're looking for a pro painter to be able to help you with your upcoming projects, why not give Kurtzbach Painting a call? We'll see you next time.